Mr. Benny Appice.
Looking up now, I'm falling in as you're pulling on my string. I feel safe now that I stand in your line. This mask of mine, I just want to live now. I wanna live now in my promised land.
that worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's perfect. That's my one-man band impression. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And I love playing these new drums. These are the new drums, as you can see, from Sawtooth. And great to be here, and good to see everybody here. There's Mike, there's Jace, there's Phil, there's everybody. Maybe Angelo, maybe Heidi. Lala's here. Man, what a great show. I feel good today. It's because I'm going to Taco Tuesday after this. I'll have the tostada. Lala's going to have the vegetable fajitas. I'll have one margarita. She'll have two. Maybe three. Oh, dear. Anyway, that song I played, as I said before, I keep getting copyright warnings and stuff for songs that I played on, partly wrote. And yet I still get these things, which is kind of silly. So that was a thing. That's a session that I did for my friend Mike Mostert. I don't know. I can't pronounce his last name very well, Mostert. It's Mostert, Mostert. And it's a band called In Theory, and I played on the track. I didn't play quite as busy as I just played because usually on record, you got to play the record more. And he's the guitarist, the producer, the co-writer, and the dude. He's the man. He also is involved with Chromacast and Sawtooth Drums, one of the guys involved in that. And the singer is a great singer. I never heard this guy before. It's Tony Covina. He's on vocals and co-wrote the songs as well. Special guest, it says here, Vinny Appice. I don't know that guy. Clayton Ivy on keyboards, Colin Lott on bass, yeah. Thomas Maternick on cello. There's cello, too. It's a cool song, you know. I might play it again later and show you how to go, a way to practice, which I always think is a good way to practice. You practice the song like that. Then you practice the song. And the song becomes kind of a metronome, and you can just go crazy and play all the licks and anything, you feel. Good way to practice it, but come in on one, because start doing crazy shit like that. I yelled there just for a minute. Sorry. If I had the mic on, I did this before. It'd be a lot of drummers go. I know you guys do that, so it's because drummers, we're putting out, we're like the engine of the band. I always said the drum set should be out in front of the stage. Like when me and Carmine play, Carmine and I, we play a show called Drum Wars. And the drums are out in the front, the amps are behind us. Who knew? That works. So, where's my drum? The drum key. So anyway, I want to thank Mike for letting me play that. It's a really cool song. It's kind of Zeppelin-y and Soundgarden-y and Vinny. Dancing over there in the corner. Okay. So that was really cool, and I'm going to announce where I'm going to be next month. The first thing is the Crypticon event that's in Kansas City, July 16th and 18th, and that's like kind of like a horror convention. And I'm going to be there. A couple other people are going to be there from the rock and roll industry, and I love doing these things because you get to meet some musicians, but very rarely, sometimes I'm the only musician, get to meet actors, you know. And a lot of the actors in these things are from the horror movies or science fiction movies, and I get to meet them. I love it, you know. I got to meet so many people, and then the best thing is going to shop for merch, you know, and getting some horror stuff in the house. The house could always use a little bit more horror stuff. So, so this is coming up. It's called the Crypticon Kansas City. And these are from a couple of other shows. This was one of my favorites. I mean, the Monsters, Eddie Monster. That was like my hero when I was a kid. And he wrote it to Vinny. Look. There we go. Hey. Eddie, he's a cool guy, too. And then I got this one from Valak. And this one's funny because it says, "See you in hell." Holy shit, that's scary looking. And I wrote one to her. She wrote, "Vinny, see you in hell. Love," her name's Bonnie, Valak. She's the scary nun. And I wrote, "Bonnie, see you in church." How's that? Check it out. That's a scary picture. I don't even hang this one on the wall. This one is really a scary picture. And from what she told me, that was done on a cell phone just for a test. It came out so scary and so good that they used it for the advertisement, right? That's scary. See, if you do something like that, do it twice. Yo, that saying, if you make a mistake, you do it twice. Oh! Do it twice. Okay, so these are the new drums. These are from Sawtooth, and these are the pure hickory drums. The drums I had before were the Command Series, which was more of a cheaper drum set, but it sounded great. You guys heard it on all those other shows. This is all hickory, you know. It's beautiful. You can't really tell the color on the camera. It's a dark black, brown, little bit of purple in it. And it's awesome. It's beautiful drum. And so this is the new kit, and these are 12, 13, and an 18, same size as I had, 24 by 14 bass drum, which kicks. It's fast. So I'm supposed to get a couple more toms, but they haven't come in yet. You know, everything's backed up these days from China or wherever they're making them, and then the shipyard here in Long Beach. I'm in California, and that one too. That's all backed up too. So this is a great kit. And I love the sound of it. The snare drum's the same size. It's a 6.5 by 14. And I'm not going to take it off. You guys know what it looks like. It sounds great. These drums sound great. All right. So this is the new kit. It's not out yet, but you can check it out on the ChromaCast. I think they have an ad there going around up and down. Check it out. and there's 20% off today, and I think they got the foot pedal on sale, which is the ChromaCast foot pedal, which is the one I'm using. And this foot pedal is great. It really kicks ass. You know, it's fast. Check out the foot pedal. I love this pedal, and it's a great pedal, ChromaCast. I haven't broken one, which is amazing, and I've been using this pedal for a couple of years now, and then I've been using another different pedal on the East Coast for a bunch of years, and I haven't broken it, which is cool. Years ago, I used to bend the beaters and stuff, and used to have to get them made special. That was like in the 70s, you know, so that's crazy. And also, in August, I'm doing an expo, drum expo with Carmine, that guy, my older brother. And we're going to do this thing together where it's called Rock and Pod. Rock and then the letter N. Pod, P-O-D. And that's going to be a bunch of drummers there and musicians. And it's going to be like a 3-day event. And we'll be doing lessons. We'll be doing clinics, private lessons, seminars, play with the band. The only thing we're not doing is cartwheels, I think. So unless there's enough money there, maybe Carmine will do one. I'd probably kill myself. But that's Rockin' Pod in Nashville, and that's on August 6th and August 8th. 6th, 7th, 8th, whole weekend. Rockin' Pod. See what I'm doing now? I'm playing in one feel, a shuffle. So the normal fill would be like a triplet. Like that. You could dance if you want at home. Nobody's going to see it, right? So what I like to do with this is play 16th in a 16th note feel for the fill, like this. So that makes it more interesting, because otherwise you'd just be playing the triplet fill, like, or any other fill, triplets like this. So those are cool. Or but the 16th notes really kick in the ass. See, so that gives you another door to go to, you know, and that's just simple. The way to practice is play the feel. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. That's the basic. Don't do that one. 16th. So I'm basically playing all these fills that are kind of against the shuffle feel, you know. I was just thinking, we never get to play the shuffle feel, you know, the bands I play with. You know, there's nothing really in Sabbath that I ever played that was that. Or Dio. Maybe we should do something like that. That might be cool. Then we got some dates with Last in Line starting in August. I think we're on the East Coast in Ohio. It seems like I'm always in Ohio. I should move there and go get some Gold Star chili, Skyline chili. What else they got there? White Castle. And my favorite is Penn Station sandwiches. Right in my car. I love those sandwiches there. They got really good bread. They toast the bread and stuff's inside. Awesome, man. And we kept going to them when I was there a couple of weeks ago, and it was one of those stupid things where you can't sit in the restaurant, you know. You go to another restaurant, you can sit in the restaurant. This restaurant, you can't go in. But then a different location, you can go sit in the restaurant. Same thing, same brand. So I love that stuff. So don't forget, the pedal's on sale. Check it out and check out these drums. You know, I love these drums. And I've been recording with them. I changed the head, if you notice. We had the white head that had sawtooth on it. And now it's a head that comes with the drum. It's a thin head. There was no hole in it. And it was huge sounding. But to record with, it was a little too boomy. So I dug this out of the garage. This is just a black head with the hole on the bottom, you know, for the mic. And I thought that was really cool. I thought, you know what? I got the black head now. Everybody puts the hole on the side, like on the side of the drum, not on the bottom. It's on the side. I'm going to put it on the bottom. It looks more badass. So I did that. And then today I was miking it with a different mic, and I realized I can't hit the bottom. The stand's too high. So that didn't work. I have to turn it around. So this is actually not a mic on the bass drum. The reason why it sounds so big. It's a speaker. Check it out. Yeah, so that's what that is. It's an 8-inch woofer, wired as a microphone, which is not that hard to do. You basically put two wires on the terminal into a 1/4-inch jack or an XLR and make sure it's in phase with the rest of the kit. And that's why it's so bassy and boomy. I love it. So what I do in the studio is I put a mic inside the drum, which is usually one of the Shure 91s, those flat mics. And that goes inside, and then I have this woofer on the outside. And you just add a little mix of the woofer into the bass drum. And it just adds this low end, which is like, whoa, kicks ass. But the drum's got to sound good to begin with, you know. So that's what you're hearing right now. I'm always experimenting with this. I really don't know what I'm doing. And each day is a surprise. Like today, Facebook changed where the live video is and the whole interface of it. Oh, shit, really? And I had to find out how do you go live, how do you test. That's why I did a test earlier with some snare drum pictures, because I wanted to see where the comments come up. You got to put the cursor in that box. Yeah, there you go. Lala's here. Lala.
Hello.
Okay. So so they changed that. Okay, fine. Now you got to figure out, and there's always more clicks involved. What's that noise? Okay. So anyway, so I found that, but now what the problem is, if anybody from Facebook's watching, this is a good tip. When you want to go live, usually people want to see what they look like. And before, you used to be able to click on the arrow and the picture would open up full screen. So you could test it. You go, do I look okay? Is the shirt, is my stomach sticking out? All that stuff. Now, the picture's this big. Go figure. Why? You want to see what you look like. The picture's this big. It only gets a little bit bigger when you go hit the live button, and you're one button away from hitting live, go live. And now I can see myself, but I'm only this big. So I don't know why things change like that. Usually they're not for the better. So I would suggest make it big again. You can't see anything. You can't see the lighting. You can't see you. The drums, it's makes no sense to me. So I love Facebook. It's great. I'm fortunate to be able to do this every week with Facebook. They kick ass, but some of these things are just a little bit questionable. That's a good word, questionable. Questionable, Lala.
Questionable.
Right? Oh, and I like to wish a happy birthday to Dehumanizer. I just found out it was 29 years today that Dehumanizer by Black Sabbath came out. And that featured a song called Computer God, which a lot of people ask me to play the intro. And here's the intro. I should go out and do a whole set of me humming these songs. So that's the intro to Computer God. And the way we came up with that was it's just like, okay, let's start it with the drums. So I just sat in there and we had a click. I think we must have had a click. Otherwise it didn't work. Or back then we didn't really use a click, but I got the tempo and I played all sorts of, intros. It might have been. Something like that or whatever, but we settled on this one. I must have done 10 or 12, 15 of these intros, and we settled on the one that's on the record. It's just simple, Or this. I was going to do this. Tony and Geezer and Ronnie didn't like it, so I didn't do it. But anyway, 29 years ago. And that album, if you listen to that album called Dehumanizer, the drums is freaking loud on it. If you want to learn how to mix, listen to that record. And the person who was responsible for that is Mac. Mac produced Queen, some Zeppelin stuff. So he's worked with drums. You never question where the drums are with Mac can mix. And he mixed the album, and everything's, when it's a good mix? When everything sounds loud. Everything. You could hear everything. And that's what that album sounds like. It's a really aggressive, dark album. And it was made toward in the fall into winter, where we wrote it in England, where it was gloomy every day and cloudy and rainy. Perfect weather for that kind of music. And I love that weather. Unfortunately, I'm in California where friggin' sun's out every day. And today it's humid. It's unusual. Looks like it wants to rain, but it never rains. So it's crazy. Okay, we have Lala here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody says Lala.
Yeah.
How about these lights? I didn't even know they were changing every
I don't know.
5 minutes.
It is changing.
It's pretty cool. This budget, we got a bigger budget for lighting now. Like $10 now. So we got moving lights. All right, we're going to take some of your questions. Lala's going to read them to me, and then we're going to have Taco Tuesday. And we love going to Taco Tuesday, except last week was 108 degrees, and they wouldn't let us wait in the restaurant because of COVID stuff. And a little ridiculous, you know. California's like really slow with opening up. But there was some lady, she must have been 90 years old. She came in with a walker with a family. They went in before us. Next thing you know, the door opens and she comes walking out and gets in the car. I go, what happened? He goes, they won't let us wait inside. Even this poor woman, she couldn't wait in the lobby. There's nobody there in the air conditioning. She had to go in the car. It's 108, 109 degrees. And they want everybody to wait in a car with the air conditioning on and the engine running, which is great for the environment, right? They're so concerned with the environment. Crazy. But today it's cooler, so I don't care if we got to wait. I hate waiting. I hate waiting to eat. I'm Italian. When it's time to eat, it's like time to eat, you know. Let's go eat. I don't go there and go, oh, shit, wow, it's 25 minutes. Oy, oy, oy. And the other exciting news is I got called for jury duty. How cool is that? I got called for jury duty, which started on the day I'm leaving to go somewhere. Actually, it was Ronnie's birthday, July 10th. I went, really? That's fantastic. What do I do? Then you postpone it, and then it comes up later on where I'm going to be more busy with gigs and stuff and touring. So I was actually able to tell them I can do it this week. And I called each night, and they go, you're on standby. I went, yeah. And last night I went, please don't tell me to be there at 8 a.m. Standby, yes. So I could be with you guys. And also Ronnie's birthday, speaking of Ronnie's birthday, there's going to be a big online thing on July 10th. I'm not sure what the link is, but Carmine and I are putting together a really cool kind of little dual drummers kind of thing, and we're putting it together. It's a bit pain in the ass because you got to play. We're soloing against each other, and then you got to film it too. So if you make a mistake, it's like, oh, shit. You go back, stop the camera, you know, all that stuff. But when you get video involved, it's real tedious stuff. So, but that's going to be out. It's going to come out good, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people on that July 10th. So I'm going to wish Ronnie a happy birthday. Okay, so let's take some questions from you guys.
Okay.
And girls. And kids. Jace.
Jace.
Hey, say hi to Angel, Jace.
Yeah.
Jace and his sister Angel. Killer.
Aw.
Beautiful.
Okay, Karen said it's 1 year since you started this Behind the Kit.
Oh, shit. When? Today?
Yeah, that's what Karen said.
Who's Karen said
Karen,
that?
you know Karen.
Yeah, I know Karen.
She knows. She would know that.
Where's my anniversary cake?
I don't know. I didn't make it.
Or
I
I should have wore a hat or something, you know, one of those hats. Well, thanks, Joe Fuco and Sawtooth and Go DPS and Kevin and Tanya and everybody that put this on, and Mike, that I was able to do this for the year. And I must say that this keeps me right in shape. I told you this last time. I went to play already with Mike Carr and his brother Matt Carr. And I was wailing, man. I had no problem, no muscle aches, nothing, no cramps, nothing. Because I haven't played live. You know, live's a different animal than here. Here I could stop. You know, here I could play and go, oh, my arm's killing me. I'll go to this arm. Okay. Wait a minute. You know, there you can't cheat. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. Mostly you guys, the fans, and telling people. And this has been on for a year. Holy shit. Who would have thought? I would never have thought this was going to happen. So it's cool. I may never go out and play live again. I'll just stay here. Even if there's one person watching, that's it. Well, thank you. Thank you, Karen, for reminding me. I forget everything.
I had no idea. I would have gotten a cake. A cookie.
Cookies, yeah, cookies. That means we can get some cake on the way back.
Oh.
There's a place coming back home. It's another Mexican place, but it's more of you go order and sit down and you pick the tray up. And they have this chocolate cake.
Mm.
Oh, my God. Right, Lala?
Yep.
This stuff is just ridiculous. It's about that big for a piece. It comes in. It's nothing fancy. $5, and it's so good. We might have to do that. I'm not supposed to eat this stuff. I'm a little diabetic, but if I do eat some of that, I'll have to get back on the drums and burn it off. Okay, let's take a question.
I think you may have talked about this already, but when are you going to get the rest of the kit? You already talked about that. Huh?
I don't know. It's all backed up.
Backed
Hopefully
up.
soon. I'm supposed to get it the beginning of this year, but everything's backed up. Kit looks great too. Look how cool that looks. Okay.
That looks really good. What other drum books did you go through other than the Realistic Rock when you were younger?
Well, actually, I didn't go through my brother's book, Realistic Rock. That was a little later on. So the books I went through, which one of them is over here. What is that? Syncopation by Ted Reed. Syncopation. Actually, you got the book? Syncopation. I went through 2 books when I started. Syncopation, which is this, and Stick Control. All right? And they're both. Oh, there's no cover? Oh, my books are falling apart. Is that the cover? Yes. This is what the book looks like. This is Syncopation. And this guy on the cover, check it out, Ted Reed. Syncopation! This guy on the cover is the guy who taught Carmine and I's drum teacher. So this book is killer, This starts off like this, just like so simple. 3, 4, 1, then rest. 4. Then it gets into some stuff. A syncopation is just broken up. The feel is broken up. It swings more like. So, and it's for the modern drummer wearing a suit. Even these covers, these are great. They changed. Classic. And the other one was Stick Control, which is all hand. All double rolls and sticking techniques and flams. Those are the 2 greatest books to start off with. Okay, next.
Everybody's commenting on the lighting. What are the actual color of the drums? Because they look blue and then they look
I know.
red and pink and.
I don't know how you guys could see this unless I move the camera.
No,
But if
it's
I move
kind
the camera, man, it's
No.
all over.
No.
It's more like this color. See that color
Like
there?
a brown.
Like a brown, the
Up here at the
darker,
top more.
darker one.
There.
It's beautiful color. It's really beautiful. And these are black, the chrome rims and black lug nuts and black lugs. The bass drum doesn't have the black screws on there yet. I forgot to put them on. So it's a beautiful set. Beautiful. Check them out online. They might have the colors online. Sawtooth World. Sawtooth World. Yeah. Okay.
Mike Carr said they're chocolate cake colored.
Actually, they are.
They are actually.
There's a little bit of chocolate cake in here, buddy. A little bit of salsa, call it. That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you ever switch to a left-handed setup?
No.
No.
Why would I do that? That would be crazy. I'd be playing. I can't play lefty. No. You know what? I'll tell you one thing. One time, a long time ago, Dio, 1997, I killed my knee, my right knee. And we had to go play a show in South America, and I was in a wheelchair and shit. So I play, and then it was like, oh, man, it's hurting. Do that. Probably sound like crap, but I switched over to my left foot and then back. So I never play double bass, so I'm not great with the left foot. He's there for a reason. Okay.
Mike Carr wanted to know if you will help him grade papers after the lesson today so he can play hooky.
I
and
got a
watch
red
the whole time.
pencil right there. You send me the papers, I'll grade them. Serious.
All A's.
Yeah. Send me the papers.
That'll work.
I always wanted to do that. Because my report cards back when I was a kid, I don't know why, mine was the only one in color, in red. Everybody else got blue. I got some blue and red. Okay. Let's take a couple more questions. We got to go Taco Tuesday.
What is your favorite song from Dehumanizer?
Favorite song from Dehumanizer? I love After All, the Dead song. And we wrote that song. I actually suggested to Tony, I said, we should write something like Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath, just bad, big chords and slow and the whole thing, And that's how that song came about. I don't know if it was, I put the seed there, with the band, but we all agreed like a really big, slow song would be similar to the Black Sabbath song, and it would be a cool thing to do. Okay.
What drums did you use on Dehumanizer?
That's a good question because Dehumanizer, we recorded it in Wales, and, I had a little set to rehearse with. We rehearsed in the house Ronnie and I lived in England, and then it was just a drive down this couple miles to Wales, So we rented a kit. It was a Tama kit. There were bigger toms, and I had heads sent over, and that's what I used. They weren't even my drums, but such a killer sound on that album. If you haven't heard it, check it out. The drums are just killer, and they're out front, and that's Mac did such a fantastic job with drums. Okay.
Are you using the standard beater on the foot pedal, and what kind?
Yeah, I'm using the standard beater on the foot pedal, but it's one of these beaters that have the plastic and the cushioning. So I always use the cushion. I don't like the sound of just the plastic. It's a little snappy and clappy and tappy, whereas the cushion part's a little bit warmer sounding, And also sometimes I hit them so hard I'm afraid that plastic part might rip right through everything and go into the next building. Okay.
Have you ever busted your knuckle wide open on the snare?
Oh man, you guys are cruel. I haven't done any of the busting knuckle stuff in 30, 40 years. But when you learn how to play, you do it because you may be constantly changing your setup, and you hit that rim with your knuckle, and that's a killer, man. That hurts, and it bleeds and all that stuff. So I haven't done that in a while because I know what I need to set up. Like if you notice this tom here, the floor is kind of on an angle. It's not up where the rim's there. Or if I'm playing a foreign kit, you get the feel of where things are. You go, you know what? Watch that drum. It's up a little bit. You don't want to kill your hand. So you make yourself aware of where not to go. It's like a little detour sign, So, all right, let's take one more question.
What is your favorite horror movie and actors and movies?
Horror movie and actors? I love the Frankenstein movies. I love Boris Karloff. And I love War of the Worlds, Gene Barry. I got a couple of posters from Ann Robinson, who was in War of the Worlds, signed to Vinny. And, she was like in her 80s, 85 years old. So she was writing something hip to me because I played in the bands. She writes, Vinny, give me some skin. Yeah, Ann. Because I wrote, Ann, you rock. So she was cute. Lovely. So I love those movies, those things. Plus, you know what? With those old movies, I could hear them better, too. The movies nowadays got all this stuff in the background, all these sounds. I'm half deaf anyway, and I'm like, what? The old movies, the black and whites, you could hear everything. It's great. All right, one more.
Okay. Do you still want tunes from viewers? And if you do, where should they send them?
Send them to drummonster13@gmail.com. It's got to be heavy, boys and girls. All I need is, even if it's a verse and the chorus or 2 parts or 3 parts, whatever you got, or a whole song. Yeah, absolutely. Send them to drummonster13@gmail.com. Just like I played Mike's stuff. It was great. So, I welcome that. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I'll be back next week too. And I really appreciate you guys watching this 1-year anniversary and Dehumanizer, everything. Hey, time doesn't stop, right? So it's really cool. Anyway, thank you. I'll play a little bit, and then we'll see you later.
Where did they put the off button?
To the left, all the down there. Look, no. The left side of the screen, the red thing. Doesn't it say end? No, over, left, left, left.
Oh, there we go. They moved it.
La
See?
la.
Well, they moved it.
Oh, my
See, I hate
God.
Facebook too.
No, don't say that.
No, I love Facebook.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
No, they changed the whole thing around.
Yeah, I mean,
Before,
it's usually
the
over here.
comments used to be on the left.
And they're little. You can hardly read them.
You can't even read them.
Oh, well,
who
I
comes
do
up
love
with
Facebook.
this stuff? These software writers, some of these guys, they're good on paper, but they don't use this. I've actually taken Microsoft certified systems engineer courses, and I am a system engineer. I did this a while ago. I did 5 or 6 tests. All the tests they had, I passed them. I did Cisco routers, all that stuff. And there were some people in there that were good only on paper. I've been building computers myself since 1995. I know how computers work, not Macs, PCs. And I've been building them ever since. So I had a whole advantage of this. Hands-on. A lot of this stuff's not hands-on. They go, well, let's make the screen small there, Joe. What do you think? Yeah. Let's put the comments in the middle so you can't see them. Okay. And there's this 2 sides of the screen. There's nothing on it. There's like nothing. There's a button to turn it on, end the live video. Blank. Middle screen with a small picture and small comments. And then the other right side is blank again. Unless I don't know how to configure this, I'm going to check it out later. And then I will apologize if there's a way to make this whole thing bigger. So anyway, that's life. Whatever. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week. Okay?